Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Let's Play episode of Dark Cloud. Don't think we're at the point where we need to do another playthrough when we haven't finished this one yet. But hey, hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. If you haven't watched the last episode, it was a big old farming episode for our boy, the beautiful, the illustrious Goro. Look at him now. He has the most authentic looking sword from Total War, from Warhammer Fantasy. It's so good. It looks great. I want to repair it. I'm going to repair it, and we're going to buy some repair juice. We need to level up Ruby, and I've been getting some really great tips from you guys as to what to level for her. You're saying level up the Polkol ring that she currently has equipped, and then throw it into the Platinum ring, and start leveling up the Platinum ring to the Crystal ring. Ruby is pretty important for, like, the end game. Well, when I say end game, I literally mean the final boss of the game. She's important. Like, you desperately need her in your party. At least I think so. We have an extra power powder. We might want to throw that into the bank before we leave. We only have one more Drawn's Feather, plus the additional one in our hotkeys. So for now, we'll just throw that in there. We still have our Sundew. We have Foundation. Great. Everything's looking pretty solid. We still haven't spent all of our Eden Primes. Sorry, I've been watching Race Vic's retrospective of Mass Effect, so Eden Primes in my brain. Fruit of Edens right here. So yeah, we're looking good. And yeah, it's going to be a while until Tone gets his Chronicle Sword. I usually don't get his Chronicle Sword until we get to after the final boss. Just because it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, even you guys have mentioned something like you need 90 elemental for some of his gear. And like, let's just take a look at his current setup. He's only chilling at, 35 at his lowest for thunder, and then 51 at his highest for ice. Excuse me, no, his holy is 20. So yeah, that's pretty bad. And Chow, yeah, she needs a boost as well. I'm not sure what it's gonna take to get this thing upgraded. Hopefully not too much more. Oh god, don't do that either. I was like completely destroyed. We need to give her some wind, some beast, and Dino Slayer. So let's go look into our bank account with old Gran. Old Gran, she knows. She has all our things. And take a little peeky poo here as we drop off our power-up powder. As we will be continuing the storyline, well, potentially anyway, it's not guaranteed. We don't need these anti-goo amulets anymore as much as I like them. We don't need them. We don't need them. We have soap. We have plenty of soap, and we can buy more soap as we go on. Let's get rid of this power-up powder. Hold on to the escape powder for now. Hey, we'll probably use it, maybe even stand-in powder. It probably, pays to have an additional one, just in case. It's basically like having a little revive on you. Speaking of that, we probably should go buy revival powder. That would be a good idea. Tons of fish for us to go fishing. Most important thing, though, the poisonous apples for when we drop down the oasis, which I believe we do have now. For the current area, Muska, Racka, I believe the name is. And then, yeah, so things are looking alright. Let's switch over. Yeah, there we go. That's the good stuff. Beast. We need the beast. Not sure what else we need. Perhaps holy. But, I mean, we have limited space in here. We should sell our endurance. I know it's more money. And I don't really feel like throwing it into a weapon, so put the Mimic Breaker in there. Do we need Sea Killer? We already have some on us. And then, yeah, we just have some spare thunder, holy. Actually, do we need more thunder? Oh, shit, we do. But look at our inventory. Okay, we're going to sell some of the stuff, though. So we'll throw in 2 thunder. We're going to sell some of this crap. I know, it eats up my inventory space quite badly. Oh, we have crystal knives. We have crystal knives on Lord Tone, 9,000. We don't actually have any of these equipped at the moment. Let's get our sacks moved over. Since we're never going to upgrade these lovely swords... these swords are beautiful, and I like them quite a bit. But, they are the most important thing ever. We're going to put the dagger on the back end. There we go. Let's organize this just a little bit in terms of swords that we're going to use. Macho Sword and the Serpent Sword, they are collector's items. Yes, logically, in a beautiful world, we would break these down. Because of course you would. They're great for status breaking. But they look too good. They look too good to actually break down, and I would feel like an absolute monster if I did that. So we'll throw down a crystal knife, give us a little spare, so we can enjoy that life. And then we have I don't know why, but we have all of these bone things for Chow, and oh my goodness gracious, it's just absolute insanity. There we go. Let's try and sort these out, make them look a little bit nicer, and then again, in terms of what I would upgrade, probably do something like that. And Ruby's thing, yeah, probably want to do something like, we want the Platinum Ring to be the focus, but we're going to get the Pokal Cool Ring leveled first, and then throw that on there. And then Ungaga, as time progresses, we will get him a better weapon, and hopefully he'll be cooler. I wish he was like a Dragoon. Like, honestly, I really wish they looked at Final Fantasy, and they made Ungaga a Dragoon. I mean, he would have been a great Dragoon. Imagine jumping in the air as his super and landing on foes. Like, how awesome would that be? Sure, there's like limited height of which he could jump, especially considering like how high the ceilings are, but the ceilings are relatively high. And yeah, I think I don't know, I think it'd be perfectly fine to do that. I don't know. Anyway, let's get rid of these anti-goo amulets. I think we already have one equipped anyway, which is probably going to get torn now that I've deleted those, but hey, it's fine. And get rid of one of the soaps, because we don't need all that. And, oh, I probably should have threw the stamina drink away, but maybe just in case we run into an issue, we'll leave the stamina drink on us. And then, of course, I said I was going to sell some of these. Yeah, 130 for a single endurance. That's super worth it. 2 MP is pretty nice, so maybe I'll stuff that into a Ruby weapon. God, now I have flashbacks of Final Fantasy VII, tried to defeat Ruby Weapon for the first time. Listen, every child that ever tried to defeat Ruby Weapon in Final Fantasy VII remembers that it was literally impossible unless you used your Game Shark. There was no logical way to defeat it. I mean, yes, there was, but we didn't know that. I need my Game Shark, plug it in. Even then, it would still kill you, unless you use like infinite health or something. Anyway. Back into the Sun and Moon Temple we go. Shove our little booties in there. Don't worry, it only took 7 minutes for us to do that. It only took a very long time. I always forget just how good the soundtrack is. I've also done a few adjustments, so now actually I hear the game audio again, and it dips down, and I can hear my voice overtaking the game volume. Oh, it's so good. I don't know what I did. I think if you guys have the Elgato, it is a nightmare to work with. I would highly recommend get AverMedia instead. I mean, Elgato, you can do cool things with it. Like, there's a lot of adjustments you can do, but I don't use any of those things, so and it has weird lag, even though it's internal on my PCIe slot. I don't know, man. But I fixed it. I fixed it after forever. Trick was I switched the visuals over to RGB instead of H.264. Does that make sense to anyone? I don't know. I don't know. For now, though, let's focus on Ruby, our Lord and Savior, our lass with the ass. That's what went through my head. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, there you go. Although she is quite lacking in that department if you really look closely enough. A lot of Japanese games, including Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean the assless cloud is existent. I don't know if that's crazy talk or what. Anyway, let's get some wind in there. And let's level up her Pokal. It's a weird name, but it is a name nonetheless, as is all things in life. Oh, of course, he has blocks. There you go. Don't stab me with your weird sand dunes. I don't like it, man. Speaking of Dune, which is total tangent, they are remastering Command & Conquer, and unfortunately they're not remastering Dune, so the only way to replay Dune remastered will be to use the that weird Russian mod that's super awesome. I forgot the name of it. Damn it. I wish I could remember things. Some things just elude my brain, and you know how you strengthen memories when you think about them over and over again? When you have a lapse in time of where you think about something, you just completely forget it, and that strain is lost. It's the worst. But then you have like all those like any sort of thing that you deal with in the back of your mind just like stays with you forever, and you'll just think about it while doing something completely random, unrelated to the task, and you're like, oh shit, I totally remember that. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, man. Alright, so the goal right now is not to make this thing super buff or super cool. It's really only to break it down and throw it into her new weapon. So let's just bump it up. Also, I guess we could also give it a bit of extra mana, though. Although, it's probably not worth it, because you're really only going to get 1 point of mana out of it, aren't you? And I don't know. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. Ramble and all that. Fuck it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna throw some holy in there. I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you guys. Maybe I should throw some ice and fire in there now I think about it. Yeah, let's do that. Then we have guaranteed she will always have ice and fire. And then later thunder. Oh yeah, get thunder in there. Hey, now we don't have to worry about it ever again. Upgrade! It's about time we level Ruby, though. I mean, Goro is easily our MVP. Our most valued potato, so now he will keep us alive. Our MP's maxed out, too. Sick. Of course, the one thing that's not maxed out is going to be her magic. Or her endurance, rather, I mean to say. Of course, the one thing we would have needed. Anyway, to bump up her thunder even more. Holy! I keep forgetting that some of these actually really bump up shit. Like, a lot. Ooh, actually that bumps up endurance. And then this is ice. Ice stone, mimic. That's why farming the back rooms is so worth it, I think. Alright, let's go for holy. Maybe it'll help with some of the undead creatures here. I mean, a lot of them are mummified, right? Or a lot of them are mimic-fied. Yeah! Oh, got him. I mean, I'm seeing potential here for her being like a special beam cannon lady, but you know, once we grab the gooey booty, then we're good to go. That's what the peaches look like. They kind of look like a booty. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, potentially. And the booties that I've seen in my time, they look like the gooey peach. I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, let's go grab this chest first before we grab the antler. Alright, we can go on the way back. Come on, man. How many mimics do you need to throw at me? Apparently all of them. Apparently the answer is yes. How many mimics do you need? Yes. Ah, a task for our Ruby. Unfortunately, it's wind, so we have to go all the way into inventory, switch it around to the one that we just had equipped. And then go back. Tributes. I think we really needed some way to cycle elements live in-game. In Dark Cloud 2, the way that they handle this, by the way, is a little bit easier. It's not as advanced in any way, like as like in Final Fantasy VII or something, like where you would choose a specific spell to use against your opponent. Kind of like in this game, where you choose a specific element against your opponent. In Dark Cloud 2 or Dark Chronicle, if you're European, essentially all the elements that you accrue for your sword just do elemental. I mean, we'll dish out their elemental damage respectively if the target happens to be weak to specific elements, right? Which is a nice way of saying just it's more stats is gooder, and you don't really have to think about what the enemy is weak to. You just have to stuff your weapon full of shit, and then there you go. It's good to go, which is a very simple way of rectifying the problem, but at the same time eliminates any sort of thought process or skill that goes into fighting stuff. But if you really think about it, I mean, unless you're doing the 100th floor dungeon and you're super late into that 100th floor dungeon, then I don't think you're really too worried about the elements. Unless, like, you know for a fact that, you know, those... I think the way that the 100th floor dungeon works is every 20 floors it changes elements. So then you just switch that element for 20 floors, and then once you get to the next 20, you switch to the next element, etc., right? It's just... It's not really like you're losing anything that was quite, you know, eloquently put into the game. It's not the most important thing. It's cool. I like attributes, I like elements in games, but I do feel like in this title, it could have been implemented better. And of course, I think this is one of the first games that Level 5 really worked on, isn't it? There might have been a game before it, but I think wasn't it Rogue Galaxy that they really took all their ideas and threw it all into one thing and kind of perfected a lot of their mechanics. And although Rogue Galaxy is definitely a much different title, and also I haven't beaten that game, so I can't really say for sure if it's fully true, if they fixed all the mechanics. Then again, they went on to go do Ni no Kuni, and that's a game I really have played very little of. I like the art style, I love Studio Ghibli, and the Ni no Kuni 2 Studio Ghibli was like, I'm out, peace! And they were like, why? It's like, because we have no money. We have no money, we're going under again. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I love pretty much anything that Level 5 puts out, though. It's, like, usually pretty solid. Usually pretty solid. I've heard weird things about Ni no Kuni 2, but, like, some people said it gets kind of stale after a while. But I can't really comment on that because I've barely played Ni no Kuni 2, and by barely played, I mean I watched a Twitch streamer play it, and then I bought it when it was on sale, and then I never played it. I think I have it installed still, and I still never played it. I think this has just become, we're gonna play every level 5 game on this channel. I think that's gonna be the plan, right? I do want to play through Rogue Galaxy, but I definitely need to play through that game with a guide, because it gets really confusing at times, figuring out how to progress. Oh, I can't. I've been instructed by the, the YouTube comment commission. Not to repair my weapons with items. Damn you, I'm trying to level my weapon here. Oh my god, I can't. Whenever she does the underhanded granny yeet, I can't take it, man. Oh, come on, please. He's like circle strafing like I circle strafe in Doom, dude. How is this possible? Look at this. She doesn't know how to you know, aim ahead. Poor Ruby. Oh man. Oh god. Oh, I got shanked. Hello and welcome to the Prison Shank channel. If you don't know what the Prison Shank channel is, it's basically just a guy that takes any sort of item, like soap even, like literally soap, and turns it into an actual knife. It's the Prison Shank channel. I mean, it is what it is, man. Oh my god. Oh shit! Oh, we leveled up the weapon and I forgot to upgrade it. Ah, the wasted XP. It hurts. It hurts me right in the potato. All right. Well, I guess we'll use those endurance things. I mean, it is a decent amount of money, but I don't find myself spending the money enough. Other than when we just tried to level up Goro and needed like, I think we spent like almost 4 or 5 grand on just leveling him up. But yeah, worth. We're getting there though. We're tiptoeing towards the ability to throw this thing into a weapon and make it sick and cool and badass. Which one gave me more endurance though? Was it it was the Opal, right? There you go. 93 endurance. Actually, you know what? Double team the endurance. Now we're at 99 endurance. Seems pretty good to me. I mean, the higher the endurance, right, the less chance you're gonna break your weapon as fast. Usually, I find endurance on ranged weapons, though, is like so weird because typically ranged weapons just drop one damage per thing, and apparently Tone is a cat because I switched to him to jump across the chasm. I'm very smart. But yeah, I don't know. I've totally forgot what I was talking about, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's move on. Throw the King Slate in there. And let's go further into the depths. We have completed a new dungeon. It's been a while. It's been a while, but we made it. Oh, we have no restrictions. I do find the restrictions evil. I mean, I don't mind them. I just wish there was a way to permanently remove them after you complete the dungeon. It should be like, oh god damn it! You beat the dungeon, and then that limited zone is gone forever. That's what it should be. I think that would be fair. Or you use a specific item that you spend like $1,000 on, and then completely remove that limited zone forever, as long as you've beaten the limited zone before. I don't know, I think that'd be a fair balance thing, because it unlocks more rooms to go into. The worst thing is when you're like, alright, I just want to sit down and do every single level of Neroon Village, right? Every single Dran's Cave, as I'm getting circle strafed like a mother by these Dune boys. Frickin', what's his face from Naruto? I don't even remember the guy's name, but he's like the sand dude that fights Brock in that one episode in the thing. And I don't watch Naruto, but I have a very good friend of mine that watches the shit out of that show. Not that I dislike Naruto or anything like that. Oh, we have a big chest. Probably gonna be a mimic though. It's been a very long time since I've even watched a single episode of the show. I'm sure it's good though. I always see the memes of the people just crying their eyes out at the end of the season. I'm like, oh shit, shit went down. I knew it. I call these things. I know. I have like a third eye. He was about to lick Ruby. Don't do it. Oh, I mean, her charge attack's pretty dope. She point blanks you. You're gonna be checking out. Another thing I actually really like that they removed in Dark Cloud 2 is the thirst system. It's like this weird timer for the game. And it's almost, I mean, because there's springs in the game, technically you're not gonna be in here technically you could be in here permanently. So I don't know. Hey, get the mummies. We're doing pretty decent damage, considering she's not a leveled character by any stretch. Like, Ruby is handling herself quite well, especially against these golems. I'm kind of impressed with her abilities. Character we have so horrifically underutilized, but she is a necessity for the end game. Let's go poison. Of course, it was curse. Thankfully, we have the ability to remove said curse. I think. Did we buy holy water? I sure hope so. I can't make this shit up, but we got another Last Judgment. So we're just gonna level the we're just gonna level the Last Judgment and then plug it in somewhere, right? Like, what else? Oh, what if we combine it? What if we put the well, I guess we could put the status broken weapon currently available to us in it. But the thing is, if we later wanna, we're gonna find other weapons in the game that are gonna have, like, durability up or something like that. So that status break is gonna be floating between a lot of shit. It's gonna go to trashier items. So I don't know. What do you guys think? But goddamn, 99 attack and 55 MP. Like, if I threw that on Ruby, that would probably be pretty solid. This is like a tier, like 2 tiers from full, right? Like, this is Tall Hammer is a full tier weapon, like tier 1, and then this would be tier 3, right? That's kind of crazy. It's kind of no. Was it? No. This is a tier 2 weapon, right? It goes Last Judgment and then it goes Tall Hammer. So really, this is a tier 2 weapon that we just got out of the blue again. Like, Goro literally has some of the best random finds on this map right now, apparently. Now we get a Happy Clown. I'm gonna go for small box. Let's give her a shot. Alright, you know what? Attack plus 3 is not half bad. This game is relatively nice to us in this playthrough. That's one of the fun things about playing through it, especially if you watch a speedrunner, because you're just like, it's fascinating to see what kind of techniques they use. And when I say speedrunning the game, I say don't use dagger glitch speedrunning, because that stuff's fun. I want to see like what the random shit's gonna do and make people play differently, focus on different characters. It could be pretty interesting. It'd be pretty fun. Not that I see too many speedrunners that play this game, to be quite honest with you. It's a game that severely lacks in the speedrunning community, also probably because of too much randomness. Makes perfect sense, which is why probably Broken Dagger Glitch is the most popular version of speedrun. Another lovely cabin, and of course we want to keep leveling Ruby. Can never stop leveling Ruby. I mean, she has to get at least something decent. There we go, we have the exit. And I feel bad for Unganga right now. Also, I feel bad for Chao, because Chao is freaking awesome, alright? Like, she's god tier in every way, but we just haven't been giving her the love she deserves. But she straight up carried us through, like, Naroon Village and shit like that, so I don't know. We gotta give her due justice. And, to be fair, we will probably do that as we progress through the story and do some more back rooms. Going back to Queens and doing back rooms there is really not that much of a hassle. It's just the biggest issue with Queens is the fact that there's so many of those cannoneers that just want to shoot you and ruin your day and make your life a literal living hell. I always press the wrong direction when I want to turn that thing. It's because it's a wheel and I'm looking at the directional pad, and sure, turning left is what, counterclockwise and right is clockwise, but you know, I don't think that in my brain when I'm doing that. At least the mummies, it just looks like I'm backhanding them to victory. But I gotta granny shot these golems, you know? God, the notorious beeping. I mean, we could keep going for like 5 to 7 more shots, but you know, whatever. Repair them! The big repair. I think rewatching Clems's video on Dark Cloud. If you don't know who Clems is, he's a great reviewer. Fantastic reviewer. Totally watches stuff, watches Drakengard, Nier stuff. Clems is the name, C-L-E-M-P-S. But rewatching him play through Dark Cloud, he has such a great point that would really improve the gameplay here is if you're playing a different character, say you're trying to level Ruby like we're doing now, if you clicked on an Atla, like one of the balls, if you clicked on a ball, it should just automatically switch over to tone for the cutscene and then switch back to your character automatically, right? Like, no real break in combat. I feel like that would have been really good. And I'm doubting it's a technical limitation. I think it's just an oversight. But it would be a really nice thing to see. This one level, we've had a Chao jump, I think we've had a wind gem, and then also now an Ungaga whirlwind, so that's a lot of things that we had to switch between. Like, all of these could have been negated if we just had the automatic switch, I guess. I know, I mean, that's me sounding lazy, like I don't want to, oh man, I have to put all this effort into the game, gross. But, you know, streamlining is a thing for a reason, and not to dumb down a game, but rather just make it more bearable on long play sessions. Not that I dislike the game at all, and doesn't really ruin the game for it. I just think it would improve somewhat the enjoyment I'd be having there. Grab this chest here, and then we got, oh, of course, we got the map that we already have. Backhand him. Get him. There we go. Thankfully, though, once you do the Ungaga thing, you don't have to worry about reopening the door. It's really only Chao that you have to constantly switch back to if you want to go back and forth over her little points of entrance there. But there you go. 2 more floors down, thoroughly cleared out, defeated. Of course, we could just bum rush these and, you know, skip all the enemies, but we're trying to essentially level at the same time, right? But we're going to leave the dungeon for now. Guys, thank you so much for watching this playthrough so far. Appreciate all the comments and the tips and the ideas that you guys bring. It's a lot of fun. You guys are hilarious in the comments as well. And also there's a chest here. Let's open this for you. But I hope you guys have been enjoying the series, and I will see you all in the next one. I'm sure we'll run into some more story sooner or later as we tackle more and more of Muska Laka's amazing dungeon and amazing soundtrack. I'm Macabane101, signing off. Peace.